push up in a Rari with Ferrari, and you know BT. Ask your crush, do you like me? Mental health check, talk to me. Somebody got you effed up. Call and get it off your mind. Catch us in the A, turn us up while you in traffic slime. Welcome to the greatest show on earth. Yeah, this the baller alert. Yeah, this the baller alert. Yeah, this the baller alert. Welcome to the greatest show on earth. Yeah, this the baller alert. Yeah, this the baller alert. Yeah, this the baller alert.
Broadcasting live from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the Ball Alert Show. I go by the name Ferrari Simmons.
I go by the name BT.
DJ EU, DJ JMV, and DJ Weponz in the
Hey!
What up,
the most booked guys I know.
A lot of corporate money in here. A lot of left side of the money. Some corporate. It's a lot of corporate checks. Anytime I'm doing a corporate event, I see these guys. If I'm at a sporting event, I see these guys. If I see some fist pumping, I'm not piss. Pause. If I see some fist pumping, these guys are in control. What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's good, man?
Thanks for having us.
Nah, man, this is long overdue. I was talking to EU and one time for Rachie. Rachie put us in the group chat, but we was already locked in.
Shout out to the GOAT.
She was like, "Man, you need to talk on the other side of things with the DJs that don't do the urban parties." But I feel like you guys do. You do urban parties as well.
It's called open format.
Open format.
Open format is the other way of saying.
Would you guys say you guys are open format?
Yeah, they play everything.
Definitely.
Okay. I'm probably out of the three. I'm probably open format, leaning a little bit more in the hip hop side, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so briefly, say your name and where you're from and how long you've been DJing.
My name is DJ EU. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, but based out of Atlanta. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, moved here when I was 18. Started DJing in Atlanta in 2008. And I've been doing it.
Been running it up ever since.
Running it up. EU everywhere. JMV?
What's happening, y'all? JMV, born and raised in Atlanta. Been DJing.
Wait. Talk about born and raised in Atlanta.
South Atlanta.
Where?
East Point to be exact.
Hey!
Next you're going to ask me what high school, right? Tri-City. So,
Tri-City?
Okay.
Been DJing for 20 years.
Pocket is over. You guys are fist bumping and everything.
Man, been lucky enough to DJ with these guys for forever. I've seen this guy DJing since he was like 17, 16, and he was actually one of the guys that I saw DJ. I was like, yo, I want to do that shit, And
that's dope.
20 years later, we were rocking together, so it's a cool story.
What's going on, guys? I go by Weponz. Originally from California, Modesto, to be exact. Moved here probably in like 98. Been in ATL ever since. Just started off like house parties, car show scene, like hot import nights, stuff like that, and then club.
Man, me and Weponz was in the trenches together, boy.
Absolutely.
Early on both our careers, like we was in the trenches. He was one of the only DJs I saw like rock a party with AG. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very difficult to rock an AG party because it's the bougie crowd.
Yep.
You really gotta play that shit to get someone to stop and chill out and have fun in their $8,000 to $10,000 section.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a little different when you get to the club already drunk and it's a big dance floor, but it's a little different when you got a $10,000 section and you got to be impressed to have a good time. Yep. And Weponz is one of the guys. All three of you guys actually have my respect. So
appreciate it.
I wanted to start it. I mean, you want to start? Or you want me to start?
Well, I actually want to talk about EU having one of the dopest Latin parties, probably the biggest in the city. Like I'm talking about. Damn, I said, who y'all got on the bill? He said nobody.
Like it was talking about what day of the week and what's the party.
So in 2018, I started a party called Candela at District Atlanta, and it was honestly something that I've been trying to do since I started DJing. But I think the sound and everything that I was doing, it was a little bit ahead of its time. Like everything, didn't have the right team when I first started. So when I first started DJing, just a little bit out of context, I went straight Latin. I was only playing reggaeton, the salsa, merengue, but I was playing it like the open format way. Like I was trying to be different than all the Latin DJs in Atlanta. And the only clubs that existed were in Buford Highway, all of that. And I was like, yo, there's a club in Midtown called Opera they have a back room. Like, I'll do the back room. I'll do a Latin night. And I wanted to like break the stereotype, you know? But being there, I saw other open format DJs and I was like, yo, like, this is dope too, right? And it was aligning with more of the sound. And honestly, I hit rock bottom, man, because what I was trying to do, I was like trying so hard that I completely quit the Latin scene and started doing open format to the point that me and Baron used to do back in the day Primal. Was it Primal, right?
Primal, yeah.
Primal, he would do...
which was Privé.
Yeah, with and then Opium, no? Or...
It turned into Opium, too.
Yeah,
it turned into Opium.
So he would do the hip-hop room. The main room was like EDM Top 40, and I would do the patio Latin because they would think Latin. I was like, oh, Miami, Havana, you know, mojitos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what they sold on TV. But long story short, did the open format run. Went through an AG club as well. Was a resident at Gold Room. And then in 18, with 17, 18, you know, reggaeton was booming again. Like with Bad Bunny, it wasn't like back room. It was like everybody wanted to hear it, which in my open format sets, I still dropped in the Gasolinas, the Pitbull. Like I still was bringing in my flavor, my Saúl, right? But in 18, I saw the opportunity of do a Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and I went up to District that had just recently opened. I was like, yo, I think I have this idea, party named Candela. And honestly, I was like, if it works, I'll ask them for another date. And luckily, I got into a club that was recently open, so they didn't have established nights. So when I did the first one, I went ahead and asked for a second date, and it's been the second Saturday of each month since 2018. We're going on 7 years now, man.
Wow. Congrats on that.
Yeah, and it's like
sure.
VT said, like, we didn't really book no other DJs or artists till like maybe the 5th year because I was like, yo, like...
Oh, bro, it's crazy, bro.
So it was
like,
just all me, like, and the resident DJ, Eduardo Franco. And we had, like, guest stuff, but it really... What we did is, like, we wanted to create a party for the experience, not because of who's DJing or anything. So, like, people will go and pay just because it was a dope party. And I feel like a lot of the other, like, parties around it, they focus so much on booking a guest DJ or an artist that when there wasn't that, then nobody will go.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it the other way around. Like, I'll bring an artist just as, like, a thank you or don't get tired of me, please. I still love you guys kind of thing.
For sure.
So, Candela. Very lucky and blessed, to be honest, because 7 years is a lot of work to put on it.
Sure.
And we still put like 800 people in that building every second Saturday minimum. Like
fire.
Because people will give up. People will do a party. Like some people will throw a party and it doesn't work for 2 weeks and then they quit.
Yeah. No, you
know what I'm
can.
saying? Like,
No, it's a grind.
You can. And then, you know, I knew what I wanted to do and I just kept going with it, right? And we created something different in the city for the Latin scene. But here's the thing: you go and it's maybe 80% Latin and 20% you see white folks, black folks.
mm-hmm.
Asians, everything. There's
Just
nights
coming to vibe out.
Yeah, and there's nights that I'm like, yo, there's more white girls in here than Latin girls, and they're just singing all the songs, dancing. It's dope. It's very dope.
Fire. Jay Envy, what all places do you DJ at?
Bro, I'm pretty blessed, man, because I get to like do all the open format spot, like the TNGs and the Havanas, but I also get to do like all the hip hop stuff, like Our Bar. I do my own party at like MJQ. So like, yeah, I've been super blessed, man, that I get to kind of like jump on both sides. I started off as just like a hip hop DJ. I started off as when I first started DJing, I just wanted to be like a strip club DJ. Really? Yeah. Because I'm from Atlanta, so I grew
Money,
up,
bro.
I mean, yeah.
I grew up in like I'm a 80s babies, the 90s grew me. So like for me, like that whole Freaknik era, I fell in love with booty based music. So I just wanted to do strip clubs and just the most ratchet club that I could get myself into. And I started doing like all the underground hip hop spot. And then fast forward some year, I saw Weponz playing, a bunch of other DJs. Like, oh shit, this is like there's more to Atlanta than just like hip hop. And then got with this guy. I was like, yo, just let me open for you. So we will open at like Vanquish, Rain. What's the one that's on Chambly? Velvet Room, Pure.
Damn,
Pure,
what time
yeah.
Velvet Room, man?
Yeah.
Velvet Room, man.
Damn.
So you remember back then they used to have like
That was AG too.
that was AG too. Yeah, they used to have like the black nights, and they used to have like the Asian nights.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it was funny because the Asian nights we just as much hip hop.
I was gonna say it was packed too.
It was packed too. Yeah.
They had a run. It was a long run.
But-
It was a long run.
Yeah, man, just pretty much everywhere. So now it's just hard to be a DJ and just be like, oh, I just want to play hip hop only.
Right.
So I've been blessed enough that I get to play hip hop and top 40 house music and everything else in between, man.
Not only to that, like the new hip hop is not club hits. It's not club music.
That too. That too.
It's
Yeah.
like, so, kudos to the hip hop folks, man, because I will fall asleep. Like,
I mean, it's just I feel like with the new music, it just doesn't transition genres like how the other music used to. Like, cause you could go to something like I could tell y'all right now, like if we go to Tongue and Groove, on a Saturday I could say, yo, this is the biggest hip hop song right now, and y'all playing, and people gonna be in there like, what is this?
But I think it's different though, right? Because I think the biggest hip hop song right now, you can play it at the hip hop spot and it'd be big, but I think the energy doesn't translate to what we call big
see
room.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like when you like the new music isn't transitioning
like it used to.
like how it used to. Because you can sit there and play Ludacris, a song from 20 years.
Yep.
You could play No Hands, man, and that thing is still like
No Hands.
Oh
For sure.
man.
and it still feels like
definitely a
it
go-to.
came out. And
Yeah.
like like when 2 Chainz was bopping like Birthday, Handsome and Wealthy from like it
Undeniable hits.
Like, but it translated into our world as well, or
Well, I
into
think
our
those
club energy.
those were made as like with the club in mind though, that this was gonna be more like a street records. I think a lot of times now street records are making it way into like the hip hop club, but when it makes it into the hip hop club, but it doesn't make it into the
Club.
Yeah.
like the big room, like the ultra lounge.
Well,
Like,
I also think that people don't understand what the hell they saying.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's another thing, because they could be talking like certain lingos, and you might be in certain clubs and they be like, man, what the hell is they saying? What are they talking
Well, it's
about?
not relatable, right? Because again, it's just not relatable because when you play at like the big room clubs, you want shit that like you want to have fun, and I feel like a lot of newer hip hop records aren't talking about having fun. You know what I'm saying? It's about, it's still good. I still listen to it, but I know that I can't play that record, at a TNG or at Havana or wherever else that we play at. So, yeah, man, I just think it's something happened within the last few years where like hip hop, especially rap records, kind of transition away from that.
Weponz. I've seen you in a lot of hip hop spots, but I've also seen you in some open format spots.
Right.
What made you want to do both? Where did you start?
I started in hip hop actually.
Okay.
But honestly, I had a
And by the way, your shoe game was always on point.
but yeah, I had a DJ friend back in the day named Fat Fingers from the NYC, and he used to come down to play in Atlanta a lot. And when I was doing stuff, I think he gave me one of the best like advice ever. He was just like, yo, you're doing your thing with like the Asians and they all know you and you're popular and you're killing it, but let other people know you. And I really didn't understand. I was like, but I'm having fun. Like, it's crazy, right? But then he's like, man, like let the Latin people know you, the white folks know you, the black folks know you. And then it just hit me like, man, I wanted to get into just a more variety of a scene, and just not ride one particular genre of music, but just dabble in everything so I could have the experience and also have other people know me and just, enjoy partying with me. So
How did you get your name?
Oh,
It's kind of violent if you really think about it.
Like your
DJ
name
Weponz.
crazy.
man, my
It
name's
has
so
a Z, so it's not
so
that dangerous.
I had these
Weponz.
two DJ homies out in Cali, and they moved up to Philly, and I went to visit them. And one day we were just practicing and getting on the turntables and messing around, and one of the guys was like, "Man, you're like a weapon on the turntables." And
I like
that's how I
that.
got my name.
Okay.
EU, where'd your name come from?
Comes from my first name. It's my nickname, Eumir. So it's just like everybody will call me Eu.
So
and-
EU.
And then when I started in the open format, I would tell people, they were like, what's your DJ name? I was like, DJ Eu. And they're like, Eu. And then somebody said EU. I was like, yeah, EU. And it was just like,
That's it.
You're like, sure, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're going to remember me by that? Cool. And kind of stuck. But yeah, DJ EU.
Jay?
I wanted to be DJ Envy when I was like 14, 15, but there's already a DJ Envy up
Right.
up north. So then I was like, damn, how can I still incorporate that? So I was going through this phase where like I started noticing a lot of DJs in other country not call themselves DJ whatever. It was just a name. So I was like, oh shit, I'll just take Envy, and my real name is James. So I just took my initial and spelled it out instead of J-A-Y, and I just ran with it. So it's J Envy. Yeah.
Fire. All right, so we had a plethora of episodes of DJs, and you guys are our finale episode,
Oh, wow.
concluding our DJ. I will
Our
call it
dear
a
hoorah.
trilogy, but it's you guys are round 4. A lot of people complained about pricing and getting their fee. Do you guys get that problem when you're getting booked in the open format about getting the pay that you want? Or do you get what you quote? Do you get what you ask for? Do you get your price?
For the most part, I do.
Okay.
I get what I asked for. But also that plays a part where you still have like managers or talent bookers that are in place that still trust in what you do, and they know like if I book this guy for X amount of dollars, he's gonna come in and kill it. Mm-hmm. And
The
it's
investment
not,
is worth it.
then it's worth it for them. And they know like, okay, yeah, there's this kid that's gonna do it for very low, but he's probably gonna come in and not do anything and train wreck and do all kinds of stuff.
Taking a risk.
Yeah, spill, drinks on the equipment, whatever it is. They just don't have that professionalism and that track record. So there's still people out there that's in these positions that, trust us. So that's a huge play.
Another thing that matters, like relationships, right? Like you build relationships with these talent buyers, these managers. You let them know that you're gonna go above and beyond. You care. At the end of the night, if you see something, you're like, yo, like just a heads up, like, well, I was DJing, this happened, or, this and that. So they see that you care not just on your own interest. You care, like when you're there, you're invested with the club. You're part of the team, right? And you're not just a DJ. So that's helped me a lot. I do get my rate a lot. The biggest problem that I have is when I send my tech rider. Like I still play on turntables, and we're in a era of DJing that it's controllerville, and I'm gonna say it, like I blame the DJs. They got comfortable. They were like, oh, I just plug in and keep it moving. And there's guys that I don't mind unpacking a few extra things. That's my biggest issue. I've lost gigs because they don't want to do my technical right. They'll be like, well, such and such DJ from New York played with this controller. I was like, well, I'm not such and such. I'm me. You're booking me. Like, you want my 100%? I need my tools. Like, if you don't give me that, I'm going to DJ uncomfortable. And there's places that I'll have to rock on CDJs, which is not as bad, but I don't rock on them as much. So I'm slower. I don't move quicker. I don't do my tricks. But yeah, that's really, I do get my rate. And then that's really the only issue I have as a DJ getting booked. My tech writer.
Your tech writer.
Yeah.
Got it. I would say that part of us three and obviously a bunch of other top DJs can ask for their rate. To answer your question like a deeper level, I feel like what are you bringing to the table? Because if there's a bunch of EUs and a bunch of weapons, then you can't charge that, right? Because we can pick from 10 other EUs of 10 other weapons, but there's only one EU. There's only one weapons. You know what I'm saying? There's only one J Envy. And when you come to our set, it's completely different. The energy is different, right? Whereas you can go to places where they don't book top local acts and they'll book just whoever for like drink tickets and $150. Like they're gonna sound like every other. They're gonna sound like every other DJ, right?
For real.
Right? Because we know those people, right?
And don't get us wrong. When we started,
we had to start somewhere, but we can command for it now. Yeah.
When I started, I was getting probably like 300 for 5 hours, right? In the back room, like we put in our work and but it's $300 in 2010 is not the same $300 that it is today, right? Like so.
Yeah,
all
we
of that,
have
all
something
of
else to
that
offer.
fluctuates,
You know, like it's not just like we're not when you come to our set, we don't just sound like the next DJ. You know, I think to answer your question, we can ask for it because we can offer something more than just here's the same 50 songs that everybody's gonna play.
I think it's also like, you know, where you put yourself in a competing market. Like now it's so much easier to become a DJ that I have homies that are really good and they complain about the rate. They complain they're not getting booked, but that's all they do. That's all they're doing. They're complaining. They're not doing anything else. Oh, instead of like, yo, why am I not getting booked? Or, damn, why they don't want to pay me my rate? Instead of figuring it out, or hey, like I'm available. It's like whenever you get it, like they're just going to me and complaining, and I'm not gonna be like, oh man, like don't come, like why are you complaining?
Are there any young DJs that you guys got your eyes on that you see that's good, or is it becoming a lost art and you don't see nothing?
A little bit both. I mean, there's a couple of DJs that are like potentials, but DJing has gotten so watered down, and I think that's why like the older DJs are still popping, because the new generation, there are good DJs still, but overall the sample pool is bigger, so like the game has gotten definitely really watered down.
It's okay to say they suck.
It's not. Well, you know, the standard isn't the same anymore, because back then, like when we started DJing, we had to drop us three and obviously a bunch of other top DJs can ask for their rate. To answer your question like a deeper level, I feel like what are you bringing to the table? Because if there's a bunch of EUs and a bunch of weapons, then you can't charge that, right? Because we can pick from 10 other EUs of 10 other weapons, but there's only one EU. There's only one weapons. You know what I'm saying? There's only one J Envy. And when you come to our set, it's completely different. The energy is different, right? Whereas you can go to places where they don't book top local acts and they'll book just whoever for like drink tickets and $150. Like they're gonna sound like every other. They're gonna sound like every other DJ, right? For real, right? Because we know those people, right?
And don't get us wrong. When we started,
we had to start somewhere, but we were now. Yeah.
When I started, I was getting probably like 300 for 5 hours, right? In the back room. Like, you know, we put in our work and but it's $300 in 2010 is not the same $300 that it is today, right? Like so.
Yeah,
all of that fluctuates. Yeah,
you know, like it's not just like we're not. When you come to our set, we don't just sound like the next DJ. You know, I think to answer your question, we can ask for it because we can offer something more than just here's the same 50 songs that everybody's gonna play.
I think it's also like, you know, where you put yourself in a competing market. Like now it's so much easier to become a DJ that I have homies that are really good and they complain about the rate. They complain they're not getting booked, but that's all they do. That's all they're doing. They're complaining. They're not doing anything else. Oh, instead of like, yo, why am I not getting booked? Or, damn, why they don't want to pay me my rate? Instead of figuring it out, or hey, like I'm available. It's like whenever you get it, like they're just going to me and complaining, and I'm not gonna be like, oh man, like don't come, like why are you complaining?
Are there any young DJs that you guys got your eyes on that you see that's good? Or is it becoming a lost art and you don't see nothing?
A little bit both. I mean, there's a couple of DJs that are like potentials, but DJing has gotten so watered down, and I think that's why like the older DJs are still popping, because the new generation, there are good DJs still, but overall the sample pool is bigger, so like the game has gotten definitely really watered down.
It's okay to say they suck.
It's not. Well, you know, the standard isn't the same anymore, because back then, like when we started DJing, we had to drop $2,000-$3,000. Turntable was expensive, mixer was expensive. You get what I'm saying? So now you can DJ for $150 with a cheap controller.
Yeah, you
put DJ in for your name.
Controller that is a portable one I use. It's like $200.
Right, yeah. And then you can be a DJ. And I'm not saying that like, but I'm not saying that like.
He said you can be a DJ.
But it's true. But that doesn't. The equipment doesn't make you a better DJ or not. But I'm saying when you invest so much of your money into something, you're gonna make that shit happen, and you're gonna make sure that it's not just a hobby. And I think a lot of DJ come in, they're looking at, oh, that's cool. I want to do that. Whereas for us, like we grew up loving music, and that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
not only that, when I was coming up, I was going out Monday through Monday.
Yeah.
I was seeing if I was in DJing, I was in a club checking. If I opened for Weponz, I opened, I stayed.
Yeah.
I hung out with him after to ask him questions. I hung out with Danny. You put a DJ now, it's like, yo, you want to open? Yeah. You were 2-3 songs in. They're like, yo, thank you for everything. I was like, where you going? Oh, I'm gonna go check this other DJ out, this big EDM or oh, I'm just leaving. I was like, so you have no
they don't have
desire
no passion.
of learning how to like you don't want to be with me like me in 5 years, right? You just wanted to put that you played at TNG, but you don't want to be the headliner at TNG or at Candela in 5 years, right? Because that's how I learned. That's how I learned from my mistakes. I was like, oh, or that's how you're like, yo, I didn't know like that record will get that reaction. Because right now the amount of music that is coming out is so hard for us to kind of keep track of to a certain point with so many genres, especially us that we play house.
Everything.
We play
it's
house.
so hard to keep up.
We play Afro beats. We play a little bit of Amapiano now that it's crossing over. We play reggaeton. We play R&B. We play hip hop. Right? Like we play.
And then
everything.
sometimes y'all mix them all together.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's blends too that you can do, that you guys can do, that you guys can create.
So
I want to say that's one of the hardest genres to DJ. Why? Because you have to know.
you gotta please all types of
You
people.
never know who's gonna be in there.
Saturday at Sun and Groove, we had a 60% of the people that were at the Breakaway Festival. They were listening to EDM. There was these 4 black girls that came, and obviously they were vibing, but after a point they were like hip hop. Like,
Oh yeah, they'll get on that phone and be like,
but how as an unexperienced DJ, you're gonna be like, forget them. I'm gonna play for the 60%. Forget the 2% that's here or 3%. Mind you, they were the ones that had the courage of telling me, and it wasn't that I wasn't gonna play it. They were just like, yeah, okay, we heard 10 minutes too much or 5 minutes too much, right? Kept them till the end of the night because I was able to navigate through that whole demographic of a crowd that wanted to listen to everything.
That's a very lost art.
Reading the room. No.
you gotta read the room.
I know. So like back to like where I was going is like, so it's not like there are some dope up and coming DJs in the city, and there's some that already been making noise that do deserve their shout out. But like the ones that I'm gonna shout out are the ones that are like doing the work, at least in our market, and like, you know, they doing it right. So shout out to Villa, shout out to Alex Heisey, and then Mashup Sessions. They're doing noise. They've been doing noise, but what they've been doing is it's pretty cool. Like it's cool to see a hip. How we were talking about this the other day, Jay. And be like.
Yeah, I think we were saying that like it's cool to see like hip hop DJs starting to kind of like
play open
break down
format
the walls and like, hey, we're not just gonna play the 50 most popular records now. We're also gonna play a lot of edits and remixes of these songs.
They should, because a lot of hip hop DJs, they complain about you know, the price and stuff like that. Like they feel like they don't get the money that they deserve for doing, you know, EDM. But what I feel like a lot of them don't know is most people that do EDM do open format, and open format is a bunch of genres of music.
Let me say something else too, is that when you have a hip hop DJ that want to cross over, you can tell that they're just crossing over because it's not like something they listen to at home. Like, to really play open format, you really have to know the music and enjoy the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna be like
100%. You're
not gonna play, you know, Boss Man, Lil Baby, and whoever else for a whole week, right? And then be like, oh, I'm gonna do an EDM night one time a year and expect for people to buy into, because you can, you know, if I
be able to tell.
Yeah, like, I'm not a dancehall or reggae artist, right, or Afrobeat DJ, but so if I play it, I can probably kill it, but it's not going to be the same as if like a Cash did it or whoever else did it, right? So
or
like,
Mixmaster David or somebody.
Yeah. So when they complain, it's not that they're not good. It's like you have to buy into it, though.
You guys remember the Gold Room? When Gold Room was cracking, like Friday was hip hop, Saturday. Bro, it was hilarious because in Weponz, you know this, every other Friday DJs, the hip hop DJs, they're like, oh, we're about to switch it up. We're about to switch it up. And they will go into like their EDM set and all of them play the same 5 songs.
Yeah, it'll be like Rihanna.
We found love, right?
The Rihanna, we found love.
Yeah. But it started with Heavy D. Now that we've, and then the mashup switched over to Rihanna. They would play Sexy Chick by Guetta, Party Rock, Africa, and that was it. And then they would just go back to hip hop. To them, that was like, oh, I killed it on that EDM set. But it's like, Jay, they were really not. But then you had guys like David. I was like, yo, EU, like, send me the 5 records I should be playing, or certain DJs like that would do the homework. But that's funny. But it's like Jay also said, like R&B, for example, like what I see in the hip hop world, R&B is where it's at. Like all the R&B parties are killing it. Like DJs across. And I was talking to somebody that is like, that is one genre that I think is my weakest. Like, so I have a homie that throws a party in San Francisco in the West Coast called Barbecue and Ribs. Shout out to Nopa Slap. He was a chef and a DJ, and he wanted to incorporate both worlds together. So he's like, how do I do this? So he started selling ribs at his parties. And now it's like gone on tour. Long story short, he came to Atlanta for a conference. Like, yo, when are you going to come out? I was like, I'm going to be honest, man. I would love to rock your party, but I don't think I'm good enough for your party. That's also those things that DJs need to do. Like, learn that when to say no, right? Like, if you're not good at that thing, but you want to party, you want to go and not kill it and look bad, or do you want to be like, nah, man, I'm cool. I'm a fan of it.
I've never DJ'd or hosted an R&B party because, man, cringe moment. I don't like R&B.
Boo!
I'm with you. Like,
boo! I like gangster music, so I'm like,
I'm like you.
I didn't know that.
Very,
you didn't like R&B.
He's you know, it's from he from Florida, so he ignorant.
No, you
Atlanta, but you know what I'm saying? I would just say, like, I love Atlanta hood trap. I love trap music. Like, I'm a trap DJ. Like, I'm going all the way
but you
left.
know that, right? Like, if you get invited,
deep in the hood.
if you get invited to do an R&B party, you're gonna take her. You're gonna be like,
how many times have I told you no?
Yeah,
You only asked me twice.
he would never do an R&B party with me, and I always.
You know who's the R&B?
I'll go for a little bit.
But let's be real.
This guy right here,
Yeah.
man, he be crying when he plays the songs. Weapons loves R&B, and he'll play like if he was
That's
Chris
all I
Brown.
listen to in my car.
Yeah,
Bro, that's all I listen to.
Nah, I can't.
Like, cause my thing is this. Like, I feel like it was a little bit different for me because I was like a chameleon. Because people be like, man, how do you know EDM music? And I'll be like, well, I grew up in Arkansas.
Yeah.
So when I would go to white parties, they wasn't playing rap music. They was playing EDM, and I'm like, who's that? They be like, oh, this is Skrillex. I'm like, damn, I like that. They be like, who's this? This DJ Cascade. Okay, I like this music. So then once I start hosting parties, when I would do concerts, I would host EDM concerts.
Okay.
I wouldn't host.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't host rap. I mean, I would, you know, when I got older, but like I just knew how to do like all of those because that's how I learned what EDM music was. So then that's why when you see me at Tongue and Groove, I'm like, oh yeah, I know.
You kill it. You kill it on the mic.
Yeah, I'm like, I know how to talk. I know how to talk that shit.
I had you guys. He was like, "Oh, this is perfect."
Yeah, man. So it's like an example. Like I got called the other day, actually around New Year's Eve. I got called for a New Year's Eve party. I was like, "What's the vibe?" R&B, Afro, piano. I was like, "Cool. I know I could prep myself to do it." And that New Year's Eve, you're just looking for a check. But I was like, to be honest, I'm not your guy. Here's Weponz, and I gave a list. Mm-hmm. It's like, but we want you. You know, we want the Atlanta United. It's like one, you've never been to an Atlanta United game because it's not R&B. I'm a piano Afro. It's just that
at all. No, just at all.
Just that, right? Like you just want the image so you could sell the client. I was like, correct. But if you really want to look good for a client, you got to book the right DJ. And I'm always passing the towel. Like if somebody tells me like, yo, we want to open for it, but we want to lean heavier on the hip hop, it's like, what kind of hip hop? Atlanta hip hop. Here's my man JMV. Because you'll do a good job. I mean, how many gigs I book you guys to like do with me, or like, yo, I can't. I'll tell them I'm not available.
But that's because you respect the art, and most people don't respect the art. People just trying to get a check.
But here's the thing: it's gained respect on the client. I've never tainted my name in. Like right? Like
that means a lot.
I prefer for them to say, "Yo, he couldn't do it," "Yo, he sucked." It's two different levels of.
Because hey, how many celebrity DJs we know in the club would be like, "Oh man, they about to kill it. It's packed," and we like, "How much y'all paid them?" "Oh, okay," and then we go in the club and we like this.
Yeah.
All right, so wait. Question to all you guys, because we running slim on time, and of course we're gonna have you guys come back. But you guys have an extensive corporate bag too. The corporate checks is flowing on this table right here. Okay, we can start with you, Mr. Atlanta United. I'm actually, I don't know by the time this come out, I would have already. I'm doing the Pike.
The Spike.
Oh, dope.
The Spike, yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, I'm doing that. So by the time this episode come out, I probably would have already done it. But BT and I we led the fan clap.
That was fun.
Yeah, you were.
And who we see in the suite? DJ EU.
It was the influencer suite, marketing suite. I go and say hi to everybody when they're there. But that's your suite.
But who did I see last night later on?
You did. Yeah.
You.
He came to the game.
Oh, okay.
Tongue and groove.
Yeah.
There's a funny clip online of that night.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, but nothing. Is I did a routine, and you were digging in. The girls that you were with, they were like, "What did he just do?" Like it just went over their head.
Oh,
it's
I know you
the
guys are
yeah.
affluent in the corporate world too, as a DJ.
I mean, the corporate world is dope. I mean, obviously the money's there, and but for me, sometimes it feels like I'm playing a wedding. Like you don't. Sometimes you'll get the corporate world. And it's a fun group, and they're just having a great time. And then sometimes it could just be boring. You know. But for me, regardless, I prefer the club because I've always liked to see people go crazy. Like just let loose.
That doesn't have a value. That doesn't have a price tag. Like that energy.
Yeah, that's something different, and it's always just to see people like whatever they're going through, you know, crazy week at work, and they come to see you play. They come to, and they just let loose, and they don't care. Man, that's priceless to me.
Yeah.
And then you know the corporate world is a little different though. So I mean, it's good in its own way, but for me, I prefer the nightclubs.
So I do both. Yeah. I have a good balance of both. Obviously, Atlanta United, it is a corporate client, but to me, it's not a client. I'm part of the team to a certain point, so it doesn't feel like it's a corporate client.
Y'all be having fun.
Yeah, like and I've been with the team since day one, so like I've been able to shape a little bit of what the sound with the fans and the players. Like every time new players come in, like we had a player, Sean De Silva. All the records he asked me was for Amapiano records. You know, Amapiano has a certain energy and sometimes it doesn't. But I was able to throw it in there because it resonated with him, and then the fans would ask, he's like, "Oh, what record was that?" or "What player likes it?" Right? So it's a little bit different, but I do have corporate clients like Baron says, but I'm a little bougie on the corporate client though. Like, I'm not bringing speakers. I'm not bringing DJ gear. I'm like, okay, cool. This is my right. This is my rider, and this is my rate. I'm just showing up, plugging in, and then I have to be out of there by 11 because I still need to go do the club.
My man.
So
Jay?
I do a lot of corporate events. I also DJ for the Falcons.
Hey,
but
now.
I think
See the tattoo?
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
All right. We're on the same page then. All right. So for me, I'm lucky in the sense that like when people do book me for corporate events, i.e. Falcons or whatever big company it is or organization, they want the JMV sound. So I don't have to switch up. So I can still do what I do at MJQ, at TNG. I can do that also at the Falcons. It's in fact, for like when we do the Falcon stuff, I do like the post party. It's just an old Atlanta party, for me, you know, because that's just who I am, you know. So like, I'm lucky that like for corporate events, I don't have to switch up. And the thing is, for a lot of DJs, I know we're running short on time. You don't have to chase just club gigs. There's so many lanes.
There's so much money out here, man.
You can DJ online, just stream. You know what I'm saying? Make more money in club DJs. Like you don't have to just chase club or chase whatever else anymore.
That episode's coming too, by the way. We got some TikTok DJs I've been having my eye on that make at least $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Easily because
DJing online. But go ahead.
But that's a whole nother art in itself too, right? Because you're not just DJing when you're streaming, you're entertaining the whole.
It's almost like a radio show.
Yeah, you're
having
conversation. You're talking to people. So like,
You're
well,
the
yeah.
therapist to a certain point.
for sure.
Facts.
For sure,
Yeah,
facts.
but corporate money is good, man. Like obviously, so like once you get to that certain level, you don't have to like be so like, oh, well, this is corporate, this is when, because I used to be like that, but I got to the point where I'm like, oh, if you're gonna book me, then you're gonna book me. You know what I'm saying? If you want to book me for a wedding, all right, cool, but you're gonna get J Envy. You're not gonna get.
So you treat it like church. Come as you are.
I
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
No, it's a fact. Like you book me, like when I get booked for weddings, it's club DJ. It's like you want a club DJ, you don't want a wedding DJ, man. But I'll tell you this:
Some weddings get a little ratchet though.
no,
Yeah.
weddings pay very well, but it's the most stressful gig a DJ could ever do.
Because it's a once in a lifetime experience.
Imagine you
And
play the
sometimes-
wrong song,
And
bro.
Sometimes, yeah, you could.
Oh
do that,
man,
yeah.
I've seen y'all ever seen that viral clip where that dude played that Ed Sheeran?
Yeah.
I was like, bro.
Was that the one where like the dude couldn't stand or something?
Yeah,
like that?
and he played the Ed Sheeran song, and
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you just
But he
ruined
laughed.
it.
No, they laughed at it or no?
I don't even remember.
It was a cringe moment.
It was like, yo, this is probably the worst thing you could do
Yeah.
as a DJ.
How do you guys strengthen your mental health? Would like that to be your last, you know what I'm saying, last thing you say, and then shout out your Instagrams and stuff.
Damn, family, man. I think my family is what keeps me sane, and homies too, like family, friends. It's hard. Like, you know, we all got our shit, right? Like we all have our personal. We're normal humans. People see us like, how do you do it? Like, we barely sleep. Like
Thanks.
I didn't sleep Saturday to Sunday because I had to catch a flight and DJ a pool party. So it gets draining, but you know, going home to your family or just having a solid group of friends, like that's what keeps you sane. And friends that keep you on the ground, like not that people that hype you up. That's how I keep it on check.
I just keep both works separate, man. Like when I'm at the club, people always say, "Oh, yo, we didn't know you turn up like that." And then when they see me outside, super quiet, super introverted, but it's because when you can keep a balance, man, of like work and then this is like my personal time, then like it's easy. I think a lot of people, especially in our scene, they get so worked up and DJing this and that, and I always got to be in the scene that you don't take time for yourself away from that, man. So that's for me, just balance.
Yeah, definitely who you have around you is huge. Also for me, when I started DJing, I told my, obviously, like when I DJ, I have nights where I drink and you turn up, whatever. But when I started to DJ, I always made a promise to myself, like, even if I do that in nightlife, like, don't bring it home with me. Like, I'm not waking up on a Tuesday afternoon and then hitting the liquor store up, right? And grabbing a bottle and watching Netflix. Like, if I ever did that, then I told myself, like, I'd be out. So I always kept that separate.
And that was the mental health check-in brought to you by the Faith Project. I go by the name Ferrari. Simmons.
I go by the name, BT.
Keisha's in the building now. What is the Faith Project?
The Faith Project is an organization that assists individuals coming out of the penal system, whether it's jail or prison. So it's pretty much like an ex-offender or someone with a drug charge that is trying to provide self-sufficiency for themselves and a better way of living. So we provide mental health services, whether it is drug addiction, just allowing them to have a more healthier lifestyle.
What qualifies someone to get eligible to be a part of the Faith Project?
The funny thing is a lot of people are sitting in jail right now not knowing that they are eligible to be released. For instance, if someone is a first-time offender or if they have a drug charge, the judge or the attorneys would suggest that they get into a program like mine to be able to provide them with structured living. So someone that will qualify is if they're a first-time offender, they'll just contact us and we would do an acceptance letter. They would serve their sentence with the Faith Project instead of being incarcerated. Someone that is a drug user or is struggling with addictions or alcoholism, they will also contact us and we'll send them through programming so that way they can develop a healthier lifestyle.
Now, how can they contact you?
Instagram is faithproject_Inc. and the website is faithprojectatl.org. And there's a contact form there.
Now let's get back into this episode. All right, and before we go, give us your socials and what you got going on.
Instagram, DJ Weponz with the Z. And yeah, just partying in Atlanta this summer and out of town stuff here and there, and hang with these guys.
J Envy, that's on all platforms. JAYENVY. Yeah, just partying and DJing and making this the best summer yet, and we'll see you out there.
At the DJEU, so THE DJEU. A lot of traveling, but we got some cool stuff coming into the city related with football, with soccer, Club World Cup, football. At the Mercedes-Benz, we have 8 games featuring international teams. You'll see me rocking around that. So
Are you DJing the World Cup?
hopefully, it's in the works, man. Like I already did that.
That'd be big.
Yeah, like
I'm
that's.
praying for you on that one.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. That's really the goal. Like that's really the goal. Like done all the work I think in the soccer environment in Atlanta, but not just for that, but just like if you're coming from out of town for a soccer experience, I would like you to hear what the Atlanta soccer sound is, right?
For sure.
And I think I could kind of carry that probably in my back. But yeah, that's in the like.
Yeah, I hope you
putting
get
it out
that.
there.
You gonna get it.
Appreciate it. No, and we got MLB All-Star coming to Atlanta, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
gonna be a good weekend.
All right, so DJ EU, appreciate you.
Thank you.
J Envy Weapons.
Yes, sir.
Thank
we
you,
also
thank you.
wanted to have you guys on the show just to give you your flowers too. You guys deserve all your flowers.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
We've just been doing this as part of our little documentary.
I mean, you guys too, man. You guys
Yeah.
been
I know.
legendary in the city, man. Like,
Man, just appreciate that back.
Yeah,
But
grinding.
we just want everybody to know, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you sitting at this table, you here for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
appreciate
I
Like,
also
that.
want to localize Ball Alert because a lot of people said Ball Alert. Where is Ball Alert?
yeah.
And Ball Alert is in Atlanta.
Okay.
The Ball Alert Show podcast is in Atlanta, so that's why we do and we talk about Atlanta shit outside of that your normal celebrities.
That's
You
fire.
guys are part of that fabric and culture in Atlanta. So we
Appreciate
wanna
it. Thank you,
get
man.
Guys and,
Thank
know
you.
What I'm saying? Give you your flowers.
Oh, for
On
sure.
camera so this lives. You know what I'm saying? You can rewatch
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
But yeah,
Appreciate it.
TVs at the house. You can watch this at the crib. Ball Alert. Ferrari
Subscribe.
Simmons.
you know, BT.
Peace.